Hello, and thank you all for joining us in this third and final webinar of the AccuNet Back Pocket webinar series. I am Jeffrey Morin, an Acumatica Implementation Project Manager and Velixo Certified Consultant for AccuNet. And I'm here with Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky Kukas, and I am the Director of ERP Business Solutions at AccuNet.
And we are so excited to share with you the Velixo Acumatica Excel add-on that will pull your Acumatica solution and put it on steroids. Now, just some housekeeping items. On the slide, you will see that the offerings for attending the full webinar are listed. And the first is an Acumatica requirement for the free lunch, which is that there is no Gmail or other email addresses that'll work for this certificate. So if you registered for this webinar with one of those email addresses, we simply ask that you send me an email, and my email address is listed on that slide, from your company domain. So that way we have that email address to use, and then you'll receive your certificate if you've attended the full webinar. But of course, we understand that you're not all here for the free lunch and that you're mostly here to see this great product that we wanted to share with you. Second are the actual discounts that are graciously provided by Velixo for the purchase of this product before 12/31 of this year. They're listed there on the screen itself. So now I'm going to turn it over to Becky to start out the session today by telling you a little bit about AccuNet. And if you have been on the other webinars, it's the same introduction, but it is brief.
Well, hello, and thank you for joining us in our third webinar of our AccuNet Back Pocket webinar series. I am the Director of ERP Business Solutions, and let's see, I'm sorry, I missed my point here. So let me start with a little bit about AccuNet. So we've been around for about 30 years, and we have two divisions of our company. The ERP Business Services Division has been implementing and supporting Dynamics SL since 1989, and now Acumatica since 2012. AccuNet is one of the first partners of Acumatica. We have customers all over the US, and some of our customers have international divisions. Our IT services division offers full service managed service plans for your technology needs. The major difference is their customer base is in the Columbus, Ohio area. I invite you all to explore our website and discover our capabilities. So basically who AccuNet is, I'd like to give you a little bit of background, is AccuNet solves problems for our customers by increasing your return on your investment with process improvements. Most of us on our team were customers and are users of the products we support, so it just comes natural for us to be customer service driven. Okay, Jeff, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay, so following this demo, there'll be a Q&A session. So if you have any questions as we go, please enter them in the Q&A section of this event. Or if you can't find that, then use the chat too, so we'll get to them. And what we'll do is we'll answer those that are appropriate for the full group. And then those that we need to take on the side, either Velixo or someone from AccuNet will be able to respond to those questions as well. But we will make sure that we get to those. That said, we would like to introduce you to Jeremy Myers, who will introduce you to the Velixo team. And together then after that, we will take you on a tour of this product via scripted demo. Jeremy?
Thanks, Jeff. First of all, thank you for inviting us. Very excited to showcase Velixo today. Really wanted to provide you with kind of a quick summary, but first and foremost, I want to, just be very frank with everyone in the room and watching today that we are not taking away your Excel. You still have Excel. We are not going to take that away in any shape or fashion. We're really hoping to improve your experience by leveraging Velixo. So I'm going to give you a quick summary. So you should see that coming up on your screen right now. Hopefully, here it comes. There we go. So again, we are an Excel-based solution. Really want you to understand that you can extract all of your data from Acumatica and put that within Velixo. And then also, you also have the bonus of pushing data from Excel directly back into Acumatica. And there's 4 different flavors that you can do with that. one of the big things to understand is that, maybe you want to be able to see and have forecasts or what if scenarios. So you're actually able to write back your budget, just as a simple example. You'll see that today in the demo. Really want to stress again that this is not something that is just strictly focused in on GL. You can use AR, you can use AP, inventory, sales commission reports, generic inquiries, and really want to also talk about the ability to have an unlimited user model. So you don't have to worry about, how many people are going to be consuming Velixo in your organization. Anyone and everyone can utilize it. Again, all permissions and access is going to be controlled by Acumatica. So that will be mirrored within Velixo. So again, that's very important. So say if you had someone like me who's a salesperson and you don't really want them messing around with pushing your data back, want to make sure that that's controlled. So really, some of the things that I want to kind of have in your head is, again, some of the kind of common pains that you may encounter, maybe today. So maybe those are, that manual process that you're doing today. So really we want to be able to provide you with a nice library of reports, those canned reports where you can kind of recycle and reuse as you see fit. You can distribute those reports as well, whether that's internally, externally, and do that in multiple formats. And really, again, getting that truthful data, that ability to have that nice connection between Acumatica and Velixo, then you know that, again, you're getting the right information. Again, this is not a solution where it is IT-centric reporting. It is definitely non. You are able to go in as a power user Excel and be able to build all these reports as you see fit. I'm going to get into that a little bit later at the end of the demo. Again, we do provide live data, and it is refreshable. The last thing is, of course, the goal of Velixo, and that's to provide you with immediate ROI on our solutions. That typically happens within 3 months. So without further ado, I'd love to be able to introduce you to Gabriel, who is our CEO and founder, and he's going to run you through the demonstration today, and I will see you at the end of it. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. And now the scripted part of the demo with Becky playing the part of Sally, a controller for one of the branches of the stand-up IT service company, and myself playing the part of Nate, a controller for the same company, but in a separate branch, and Gabriel. Hello, I am Nate, known as Nate the Gate here at Stand Up IT, because I am like the gatekeeper. I like rules and regulations to monitor what we do in the Western branch of the company. I don't like surprises. And I'm here with Sally, who I respectfully call Sally Penny Pincher, as she is so focused on every penny of the Eastern division of the company. Every account ties to the penny, every project monitored and analyzed to the penny by Sally. And hey, don't get me wrong, that's a good thing. But we do bicker and battle, and quite honestly, we are just like family. She doesn't really care for my joking around, however.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, I'm Sally, and Nate tends to be the card too often at Stand Up IT, but he is good at what he does, so we put up with him. A little about the company. We have 2 branches. We split the company east and west and have separate financials for these branches. Projects are key to our operations. We have been on Acumatica for about a year now, and we love it. But we want to extend the data from Acumatica into Excel, and that brought us to you.
And we have read a lot about Velixo, and we've seen a few of the YouTube recordings, but wanted to dig in more with this demo. So I hope you do not mind the Q&A from us, Sally and me, to help us see the product in a way that is a little bit more appropriate for us.
Absolutely, Nate. I'm pleased to show you Velixo today and help you move forward with your decision. Let us begin, if you don't mind, with a general overview of the product functionality. When Jeremy started his intro on Velixo, he shared something very important with you. We're not going to take Excel away from you. Excel is by far the most popular application in the business world, and I'm sure all of you have spreadsheets like the one that I have on my screen. Spreadsheets are great, except when you need to do all the work manually, and Velixo bridges the spreadsheet with your Acumatica ERP system and adds a connection that basically will turn spreadsheets into magical workbooks that you can refresh in a single click. To show you how simple it is, I will take this workbook that Sally shared with me. So this is a report that she's updating manually, and I will add it or link it to your Acumatica system. So what you see right now is Excel. This is a standard version of Excel that everybody here on this call probably uses, but it has something very important, the Velixo toolbar. And from the Velixo toolbar, I can add a connection to my Acumatica system by simply opening the connection manager and then add connection. It's very easy. I just need to enter the address where my Acumatica system is located, my tenant name, and my Acumatica credentials. So this is the exact same information that I enter from the web browser. Let me just open the browser here and show you. Okay, so if you're using Acumatica, you're definitely familiar with this page here. You enter your username and password, and this is the exact same thing that you enter when you want to use Excel with your Acumatica system, thanks to Velixo. Now that I'm connected, I'm going to replace all those static values that you currently need to update manually every month. Wouldn't it be great if you could simply change the date to November and see those values update? Well, this is exactly what we're going to do thanks to Velixo. Velixo works by adding new functions to Excel, functions that you can use anywhere in your workbooks. We have functions covering all the key Acumatica modules, financials, projects, construction, generic inquiries, and much more. And these functions can be discovered a few different ways. First of all, you can just type equal, as you would do with the sum function, and look for account functions or project functions. And notice Excel shows you a bunch of functions. They're all Acumatica specific. In my case, I'm just going to use the insert function button. It's a very, very convenient tool. Again, this is something you also have on your side in Excel. And in the dropdown that you see, I'm going to look for my Velixo, general ledger, or financial functions. So I'm looking to get the current balance, ending balance, that's the same thing. And I'm just going to follow the instructions on screen. So my connection name is Acumatica. I want to pull from my actual ledger. It could be a budget ledger too if I wanted. My account code is right here. And for now, just going to select the period that I have here. So let's do that, drag it down, and that's it. So now, like this report that was previously static, that you needed to update manually or re-export and then massage to look exactly the way you need, now it's linked to your Acumatica environment. So in December, well, you will just need to change the date here, press enter, and the report will refresh. It's that easy.
Wow. So can all these reports be specific to a branch?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know if you noticed when I was building my function, but we actually add additional arguments to filter and refine the information that is returned by Acumatica. If you scroll down, you'll see here that we have a branch argument, so I can put the branch code here. But what I would like to do instead, because I think it's a much more flexible way of working, I will add cell here for my branch and another one for my ledger. I'll show you next another cool thing that we can do. I believe you have two branches. You have the east branch and the west branch. Is that right?
Yes.
That's right.
Okay, so let's just type the branch code here, and I will update my Excel function to link to my, first of all, the ledger that I added here, and also the branch that we have in cell C6, and then let's just copy that down. Okay, so you can see that the values change already. That's because now we're just looking at one of your branches. Let's hide 0 rows. Okay, here we go. And if I want to look at Services West now, I can just change it. It also refreshes. And then I can very easily add an additional column. If you want to have East and West side by side, you could do that and add a total column that adds up both branches together, effectively building a consolidated report.
Wow, that's
Like
crazy. That's perfect. And before I get into my main focus, I just have to say that you are that guy, right? You're Mr. Velixo who created this?
Yes, I am, but
Well, man,
Velixo, yeah,
you are a rock star, and I can't believe you're really doing this demo. I know I'm a bit of a geek, but I love this product so much. But anyway, sorry for that. My main focus here is on financials for stand-up IT, and I've created them both for both branches. So I'd like to take a look at some of that.
Yeah, and my focus is really on project reporting and AR aging and collections, and I'd like much more flexibility with both of those.
understood. I will definitely show you more samples that cover financials, project reporting, and collections. But before I do so, Nate, and thanks for your excitement, but I really want to acknowledge the work done by the Velixo team over the years.
Yeah.
What started as a skunkworks project, something I was building in my basement, became a tool that is loved by thousands of users worldwide.
Right.
This is by far the most popular add-on in the Acumatica community. And I'm very happy to be with you today to show you what Velixo does.
Exciting.
So let me start with some of the sample financials that we created and that are available for download on the Velixo website. Over here, I have a workbook that contains multiple sheets. We'll go through all of them today together. This one that you see right now as my revenue, my expenses, there's the budget too. We can display that. You can see the variance. There's a few cool things like a drop down to easily switch between your branches, so east and west. I can select that and you can see it recalculates. We have conditional formatting as well. So those little arrows and the red cells that show something is off or above budget, that's also done using standard Excel functions.
Okay.
And in
you can
workbooks
grow
that you
these
build,
as needed with comparative periods too?
oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was expecting your question, Nate. So I have already added the columns here. I'm just going to expand them. So
Perfect.
I just showed 3 new columns. This shows prior year and the variance. And then I have even more data to the right showing year to date versus prior year to date. So this is Excel. It's your it's free form. You can create your own pixel perfect reports and have the values formatted and presented exactly the way you want, using your favorite tool, as we all know, Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. So how about drill down capabilities? I know we have that in Acumatica, but are we able to lock down by user these reports?
Yes. So in terms of locking down, if you recall, when I built my first report, I had to log in. So as an Acumatica user, I might have restrictions that only allow me to see specific companies, specific branches. Maybe also I have restrictions on specific screens and modules. Maybe I only have access to projects, but not financials. It can actually be as granular as down to the account level. For example, payroll accounts. You might not want all your employees to see what's in the payroll details. You can lock that down thanks to restriction groups in Acumatica, aka row level security. And this is all supported by the Velixo tool.
Cool.
And then in terms of drill down, this is actually a pretty important feature because when you're working with spreadsheets that are disconnected from your ERP system, you have no guarantee that the information is valid and in sync with what's in your ERP backend. And Sally, as far as I know, like you're pretty sensitive to your budgets, and you don't like when someone overspends. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. I see one on here. It's like, what is that? Why is that so over budget?
Yeah, like over 3,000% above budget. So let's use a drill down function to figure out what's hiding behind the other expenses cell. Drill down. And what the drill down function does is that it looks at your Excel formula, okay? It identifies all the cells. You might be adding numbers from multiple areas. And then for each cell, it breaks down the amount by account, sub-account, period, and branch. So you can immediately see if something looks odd. For example, here, meals and entertainment.
That one looks really odd. What is that?
Yeah, Nate, is that you?
Yeah, that was me. I had a birthday party in Vegas, I think.
Oh, okay. So, Sally, let's get to the bottom of it. I will click View Transactions, and this will take me to my favorite ERP system and show me the full transaction details. Yeah. I think Nate is starting to get worried here that we're going to uncover something.
You got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Win Hotel Bar Tab. What is that?
What?
Hey, by the way,
What, Nate?
yeah. By the way, Sally, you can already see like that the amount matches. So already we've confirmed that like Excel is showing you the right information. So let's open that Win Hotel Bar Tab and see what's in there. There's a file attached to it.
What?
Uh-oh.
What? What did you do?
It's very slick though. Yeah, very nice. Right in my wallet, huh?
Okay.
Oh,
Good. So
that's
I
good.
guess we should reverse this transaction. Is that what you would like me to do right now?
Yes, please.
Okay. So let's use the reverse function of Acumatica.
And we're not paying that.
Well, that was drill down. And just to recap, thanks to drill down, you can click on any cell in your workbook. You can even do it on the total like this one here, total expenses.
Mhm.
And by clicking the drill down button, you then see a summary of all the cells included and amounts per account, sub-account, period, and branch. So very, switch back, a very useful tool when it comes to reconciliation, analysis, auditing, and like whatever work you need to do in Excel with your
Mhm.
Acumatica system.
Definitely.
Okay.
It looks great, except for seeing that receipt. So any additional views of financial reports that you can share with us, Mr. Velixo, just to help us grow our company a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. As part of this workbook, which once again, by the way, can be downloaded on the Velixo website at help.velixo.com, we have a 12-month P&L, so it's showing the activity month by month for the last 12 months. It also includes a nice trend chart showing if like revenue seems to be going up, that's great, and expenses look flat or to be going down. So it's probably thanks to Sally, the penny pincher. I have my profit dashboard here. That's another example. So you can create charts and the charts will update with the rest of your workbook. So again, if I select a different branch, you can see that this chart here updates. Okay. A cash flow statement, a cash flow forecast. So these are all examples of what you can create in terms of financial reports using this tool.
Okay, what about distribution of these reports? We've got like quite a distribution list, based on employees and such throughout the company. Can we distribute according to roles in Acumatica and lock them down? Because you know me and I like my gates.
Yes, absolutely. We have a tool in Velixo called Report Distribution. This is right here in the Velixo toolbar. And you can create your own distribution list that will contain all the roles and the content of the reports that you want to send out. Actually, I have one here that I can show you, which will let me highlight some of the things that you can do with the reports distribution function. So let me just open Outlook because we will need it to send some emails later on. In this template, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 reports that will be distributed. This is just an example. You could actually have hundreds of lines here. We even have one client sending 945 or so emails a month with this tool. And for each email or file that you will be generating, you can select the file format that you will be using. It can be an Excel workbook. It can be a PDF file. It can be a simple email. Here, this is what none means. You can name the file. So we're going to send a PDF for the East branch, another one for the West branch. You can decide what you want to include. So this goes back to your question around security. Maybe you have like users that shouldn't see everything. Maybe you just want them to see that nice little dashboard we had earlier. Reports can be saved to SharePoint, to Microsoft Teams. Okay, if you have a network appliance where you share your files, you can save it there as well. It's up to you. Emails, I assume, is what you will be using, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless the file's too large, then we'd save them in the folder.
Yeah, the files are small though. Velixo doesn't make your files bigger or heavier.
Right.
Yeah. Subject, content of the message, and last but not least, you can override filters or set values while the system goes through the distribution list. So that's how we're going to filter the data on that East branch, West branch. Okay. And let's click, not write back, I'm sorry, getting ahead here. So let's click distribute all. The system will generate all the files. Oh, actually, I think I made a quick mistake here. Let me see what's wrong.
Well, there we go. Yeah, and it's saving them to drafts. So the email is just a draft, and then it sends after you.
Yes, correct. Yes. So let's go to
That's
Outlook.
good, in case you
You'll
make a
see
mistake
that.
there.
You'll see that in my drafts folder here.
Yep.
So you have all the emails. Actually, like this one I forgot to mention, but you can also like directly include portion of the spreadsheet in the email. So if you have people that don't use Excel, they can still view the content that you generate.
Cool.
And this is the profit and loss for the West branch, for the East branch. And you can see that it's filtered and it has the nice looking dashboard as well.
Excellent. So what about the budgeting process? We need to pull down actual details from like our current or previous year and then make some adjustments to them based on what Penny declares as over budget. Do you have the ability to write back into Acumatica from these Velixo reports?
Yes, absolutely. We also have the ability to write back. That's this other section you see here in the Velixo toolbar. And write back is actually a very powerful tool. We have users that like pretty much only use Velixo for write back. They have advanced scenarios where they use this from, and budgeting is one of the most popular ones.
Right.
As you saw earlier when I showed you the P&L, it's very easy to retrieve data from the budget. And here in the budget tab of my workbook, I have this budget that I have been working on. Actually, it's an old one from last year, so let's change it. I want to budget 2024. And I want to build it by looking at my 2023 results. There we go. Okay.
Good.
And by changing the year here,
Yeah.
it updates the different
Yes, I
values
know.
for my revenues. And I built a model that's pretty simple, but I think everyone will understand it. So let's say for next year, Jeremy and I have forecast. I wish it was the Velixo annual income, not yet. But I'm sure Nate, your company is much bigger than that. Where I'm just looking at one of your branches. So
Yeah,
congrats
we keep
on your
trying,
success.
right? Yeah.
Yes. So let's say next year, like you're forecasting, you're launching a new service, and you're going to have a great uptick in revenue. This is 30% up. So I will press enter, and it calculates my budget, and it distributes it evenly to all the financial year. So you can do that. You can have your own calculation method.
Right.
You could say that for some of the rows, let's say advertising, so this one will go up as well, and the bank service charges might go up. So you can go line by line. You could decide to allocate based on seasonality. If you have months with a lot more activity, you can do that as well. And the write back piece, this is what your question was about. It's as simple as clicking the write back button right here.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. And this is secure. This is fully audited. You need to have access to the budget function in Acumatica in order to use write back from Excel. Okay, so if Sally, don't worry if Nate tries to adjust the budget to account for his
I wouldn't do that.
his big parties in Vegas, like you will be able to catch him because everything will be locked.
Yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on that for
That's
sure.
all right. Yeah. That's great. That's a great time saver for us too at what we do here. So what about any other kind of write backs in Velixo? You mentioned that there are a few and some we don't use, so feel free to share with us, everything that that really shows up.
Yeah, we do like an accruals for insurance. Do you have something like that?
Yes, I have a pre-built example in my workbook.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and this one I really like it because it was built by one of our users, and actually she was using this like before Acumatica and before Velixo. She had a very similar spreadsheet that she was updating monthly, and the way she was doing it was by running a sales report for every single branch in her company. I think it's like 75 branches. So every month she had to go and get the values in, and then go back to her legacy accounting system and type this GL entry. That's effectively revenue multiplied by a rate plus taxes. Okay, not very complicated, but cumbersome, time-consuming, and repetitive. So she was all excited when she discovered that with Acumatica, she can simply build a workbook, not build, but use her existing workbook, link it to Acumatica, and now it's simply a matter of changing the date, and it calculates everything. If the rate changes, let's say this one is 325. Sorry, Sally.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's cool. I just like how it just creates your
She's
whole
falling
entry
off her
for
chair,
you.
I think, there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what's even cooler is that now, thanks to the write back function, you can click perform write back, and it will take the GL entry here. It will validate it. It will, again, make sure that I am authorized. And in just a few seconds, we will see the resulting entry in Acumatica. Here we go. So absolutely identical to what we have in the spreadsheet.
Very cool.
Okay.
Wow.
Well,
With full
yeah, I'm going
auditing.
to turn this over to Ms. Penny Pincher now, who I'm sure has a lot of questions of her own. So, but thanks for
Yeah.
sharing what you did with me.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Gatekeeper. I want to dive into projects. It is the core of what we do at Stand Up IT. And though we are given a number of reports in GIs and Acumatica, I want to pull data out and analyze it in different ways. More specifically, I want to show, like, I want you to show me maybe a list of projects and all the details by account groupings or gross profit margins with amounts and hours, actual to budget. Can you show me how you do that in Velixo?
Sure. Velixo ships with an extensive set of project functions, and the project functions work just like the accounting or financial functions. Let me open this sheet here that will allow me to introduce you to the Velixo project reporting functions. So this is a very simple project P&L that currently shows just one project. I have a drop-down that lets me switch between projects. And just like you saw earlier with the simple account balance report, I can very easily add columns and look at multiple projects side by side. I just copy paste it to the right, and all my formulas have updated. So let's take a look at this one here, project ending amount. So if you recall, we used a function called account ending balance. So this follows the naming used inside Acumatica. And for the project reporting, you just need to tell Acumatica what your project ID is, what's the task you want to look at. In my case, I want all the tasks, so a summary for all the project revenue, the account group, so that's my revenue account group in this case, and finally, the date. So once you have that in your report, it's as easy as changing the dates here, okay, or 2023, or selecting another project in the list.
Okay, all
And
right,
you'll
that's
see that
cool.
the data updates. Okay.
Yeah, this report is very close to what we do. Do you have a report that's by project manager or project type?
Yes, here's another example that you can look at right here. So this one is a slightly different view. It shows all the projects as rows, and right now it's not filtered. But I'm going to open that drop down here and select one of my product managers, John, and you'll see the list update. It's currently loading. Here we go. And this sheet shows the project type, the budget revenue, budget expenses, what's our revenue and expenses to date, hours as well. You can retrieve this information from the Acumatica project module. There's also status indicator or KPI here. So it tells us that this project is in critical status. It's probably because we've spent 3 times more than we built. So maybe, Sally, you would want to look into this beach hotel. Maybe it's Nate again doing something with your money.
Somebody at the beach hotel and condominiums. Okay, yes, I definitely got to look at that one.
Yeah. And you do have like summaries here for all the projects assigned to John. If you want, you can filter on any project attribute, any user-defined field as well. I built an example too to show you if you want to look at commercial projects only. So Nate will be happy because the hotel project will disappear. Yeah, you can just do that.
Good to see you.
And now we have 3 projects. Actually, nothing is happening in these projects, so I hope it's not one of your buddies that's managing it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Nice. Okay, so can we attach to any of all these standard GIs in Acumatica and then have specific functions we can perform on that poll, like an AR report?
Yes, very easily. Let me show you some examples of sheets that were built using the GI functions. Over here, like this report is a list of project invoices. So I have my project ID, and when I change a project ID, it loads all the invoices linked to this project. The second example is an aging report that we can use to reconcile or tie out the GL with your AR subledger. This one uses the GI function, generic inquiry, to pull data from any Acumatica inquiry. These functions are very simple to use, and they work with the Acumatica generic inquiries that you can find absolutely everywhere. For example, if I open the bills and adjustments page, this is a generic inquiry. I think there's something like 200 or 300 inquiries in Acumatica. And yeah, and you just need to know the name of the inquiry. You can get it from Acumatica. Right here, AP bills and adjustments. And then from your sheet, you just type the name of your Acumatica connection, the GI name, you press enter. And you'll see here in the status bar, the system is loading the data. And within a few seconds, you will have the entire generic inquiry loaded in the workbook. Here we go. And it's done. Voila.
Oh, wow. That is quick.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quick as
So-
well. And it's even faster when you refresh because Velixo uses smart refresh, which only pulls modified or new information from your Acumatica ERP system.
Oh, okay. That's I didn't even realize that. All right. So the AR aging detail, I know, could you go back to, or no, I'm sorry, the project invoices. I saw there's a way for you to like view in Acumatica. So all these other GIs, you can actually link directly to the actual documents.
Yes, correct. You just need to add the proper hyperlink next to your inquiry. In this case, we're going to send the user to the invoice screen so you can see the full web address. You don't really need to be technical to understand how that works because basically Acumatica shows you the address on every page. So when you're looking at an invoice, you would see this in your address bar. I just click, give it a few seconds. And yeah, this is your invoice number. You just need to set the right value. And same with all the screens. If you wanted to send to an AP bill, to a project, in the project report that we looked at earlier, you could also do that. I think we have some time. Let's do it. Let's go to any project. Here. Project portfolio here, and I can do equal hyperlink, and I'll say view in Acumatica, and my link, this is what you saw here, and I just need to basically reference the project ID cell, and now this is view in Acumatica. I can click on any cell, and now it will send me to the Acumatica project screen on the project I just clicked on.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I love that you can have all those links back and forth. So, all right. So I think one more question. Well, no, okay, what happens if we grow the company to add another tenant in Acumatica? We are looking at possibly acquiring some other companies, and we want to know if we can pull data from multiple tenants into one report.
Yes,
yes,
like the financial reports with columns for each of the Acumatica tenants would be absolutely great. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in on you, Sally, but I mean, I like that idea if we can do it.
I like your idea too. I'm impressed by your expansion plans. This is great. Congratulations. In Velixo, from the connection manager, you can very easily add additional connections. Actually, I did not mention it earlier, but this workbook is already pulling data from 2 tenants. All the projects that you see are coming from another company. And I did that on purpose to be able to show you that, yes, you can pull data from multiple tenants very easily. So you can add another one if you want to. Okay, so you just need to enter the connection information, username, password, and then you simply reference the connection by name in your formulas, and you can very easily consolidate the data.
Oh, okay. So you have to you just reference it in the formula. Okay, that's
Yes.
great. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Well, thank you for this demo. I have one more question. What is the training and learning curve for Velixo? Do you have continued resources after we make this purchase?
I think Jeremy is the best person to answer your question. Jeremy is our top guy when it comes to that, and I'm happy to have him on the call with us. Jeremy?
Thanks. I appreciate that. And thanks for the demo. So yes, absolutely. So in terms of how everything goes with the kind of the learning curve, what I like to do is just kind of get you a feel for, how you do get started with Velixo. So let me just pull up this quick slide here. Don't worry, this is the last one. I'm hoping it's the last one. 1 second. Just going to come up right now. Should see it on your screen in a second here. This is the one we want. Okay, so getting started. So first and foremost, we do have a 30-day trial. So that encapsulates everything that Velixo can do. So all you have to do is provide your Acumatica instance URL, and we can provide that for you. So you've got that full working version. So that's step one. In terms of implementation, there isn't any implementation. It's just a simple install. Takes about 30 seconds to download from our website, and you're ready to go. And you'll have that nice Velixo ribbon within your Excel. Now, getting into that learning curve. So if you are a power user of Excel, absolutely, you're going to be able to pick this up very quickly. Why? Because all of those skills, of course, are transferable. We do have two things that are available, training and also the ability to have services as well. So that's why I kind of break it up into that self-serve and hand-holding. So the best way I can kind of differentiate the two. So with the self-serve, of course, we have our own website, which is velixo.com. But we also have another website that is strictly for all of those resources that we do provide for you. So like things like all the different functions, how to use those with like syntax and examples, things of the sort. At the same time, we also have a YouTube channel that has over 90 plus videos there available for you at your fingertips. So again, after you go through the training, you're going to be able to get some pretty powerful reports within a week or two, without a doubt. And then if you have kind of those reports that are near and dear to your heart, and you just want to get a kickstart things, that's where kind of the hand-holding comes in. And that's where AccuNet can come in and kind of help you out, kind of build out those first 5-10 reports for you. And then as you see those are built, I think you're going to be able to kind of build out some new ones as you see fit. So again, can't stress enough, the goal is to have immediate ROI within that 3-month period. And that's why you've got those nice silos of that self-serve environment and also the hand holding. So at any point in time, you can rest assured that we're going to be able to help you along that path. And we also have support on top of that, just to throw that into the mix. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say. We're really excited that you're here today to get like a taste of Velixo. And thanks a lot, Jeff and Becky.
Hey, yeah, thank you, Velixo team. I mean, it's a fantastic product, and we're so glad we were able to share it with our users and a few more people that came on for this webinar. Again, thank you all for attending the webinar. And if you'd like any more additional information on Acumatica or Velixo, the email addresses are on the screen that you see now, along with the discounts. And then we discussed earlier at the start of this about the Grubhub and that whole procedures that Acumatica has in place. So please feel free to reach out to all of us, listed here. And again, we have a question and answer session. So I don't know if there's some questions, Jeremy, that you saw in the Q&A room. If not, then we can, take those off the webinar too, and then just answer those via email or set up a meeting with you. You know, at Acumatica, you know, we walk through the process of setting up like a discovery, or if you need to see Acumatica, you know, we can share that product with you too and show you the connection with Velixo, but it's your call. So thank you all for attending.
Oh, perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Mm-hmm.